Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me, the Queen of Hearts, with our World Book Day activity this afternoon. I've got a creative art activity where we can be learning how to make some story stones. So you can see I've got the Gruffalo here. Look at his orange eyes and purple prickles all over his back. I've got a character here some of you might recognise, a mystical wizard. And I've got this one that my daughter helped me with. Look at him. It's one of my favourite books as a child. On the back of these stones, I've got a special message. Look, World Book Day 2021. I hope you like them. So I'm going to show you how to use these and then how to make them. And then if you're lucky, you might be able to go out for a hunt on Portland and you might see if you can find one of our World Book Day stones. So here is what we do when we're making them and how to make them. Okay, so the lovely thing about story stones is you can use them to make up your own mixed up fairy tale. So you can see I've got a selection of stones here that I've painted, and I'm going to create my own story. So let's see, might be a bit of a nonsense, silly story because I'm going to mix up some fairy tales. Right, once there was a wizard and he was really happy. He was best friends with a fairy. Look how happy they are. Used to go out and play and their day was full of sunshines and rainbows. They didn't have a care in the world. So they were happy as anything. I guess I should have started once upon a time, shouldn't I? However, a big bad wolf came along. Look at that big bad wolf. He came along and he thought, those two look a bit tasty. I'm going to gobble them up. He called in his scary friend, the Gruffalo. And the Gruffalo said, my purple prickles all over my back. Think that they would be tasty. So these two were planning on gobbling up the fairy and the wizard. Oh no! So before things got disastrous, along came a boy called Wally. Now Wally was very wise. He was a very wise man, although not good at geography because he often got lost. And he said, now hang on a minute, you shouldn't eat them up. You should have lots of love in your heart, and we should all live happily ever after. And so the wizard, the fairy, the wolf, the Gruffalo and Wally lived happily ever after, and they wrote a wonderful storybook about it for World Book Day. I see. So you can use your story stones to muddle things up and make your own mixed up fairy tales. So I'm going to show you how to make a story stone. So I'm going to move these aside. And I've got a sample one. So I found a stone in my garden and I have used a pencil to draw out a design. I wonder if you can see just about who I'm going to draw. Give you a clue. If you've seen Mrs. Russell today, you'll know what I'm drawing. Now I have got here some paints. I've got some water. Now acrylic paints work best. However, you could also use a bit of poster paint mixed in with some gloopy glue, some PVA, or you could cut out a picture from your favourite magazine. So if you've got a BBC magazine, maybe you could have a character from a book. The Auctionauts were one of my favourite. And you could glue it onto your stone. So I think a gingerbread man is going to be ginger, isn't he? He's going to be a bit orange. So let me get painting with mine. So I'm going to paint really carefully for you to watch along. Sometimes the paint goes a bit see-through, but that's okay, because as long as whoever finds your stone can see who it is. Now this gingerbread man has had a bit of a problem. He probably has had a run-in with a wolf or a fox, I think, in the story, isn't it, with the gingerbread man. So I'm going to paint him. There's one. I've done one arm. I'm going to do the other arm now. You see him coming together? I'll mix my colours together a bit, actually. Might be a bit darker. That's a bit better, isn't it? But look what's happened. He's not a normal gingerbread man, because look, oh no! Help, help! He's got a broken off leg. Oh, he's obviously been chased by a lady, a man, a bunny, a cat, a dog. Who else is in the gingerbread man story? Okay, so that's my gingerbread man. I've got his basic shape. I'm going to wash my brush, because what I want now, I can't just leave him like this. He needs to have some buttons. So I'm going to do some purple buttons on him. Down the middle, there's one big button. I wonder if you've made a gingerbread man. Sometimes it's nice to have buttons made as raisins, isn't it? Or Smarties. That's nice too. That's my gingerbread man. So I've made my outline, okay? I might give him another coat of paint, but That's pretty good. Now I'm going to use a permanent marker. Now I've got a nice thin one. On these ones, actually, I just used a fine liner pen. That seemed to work to paint over them. I waited till Wally's dry and then I drew round his features. And I've actually varnished these so they last outside as well. But you don't have to do that. So I'm going to draw around my gingerbread man so he really stands out. See if I can do that. Now my paint's still wet on mine. If I were you, I'd paint it and then I'd come back. And once it's dry, it shouldn't take long, you can leave it in the sun. Hopefully it's a sunny day. Can you see how drawing around it just makes these features pop out a bit more? So I'm going to draw. Round his arm. Don't forget his good leg. He's going to be hopping away from people who's trying to catch him. And then don't forget he's broken, but I'm going to go do a zigzaggedy bit. So you can see where he's really broken his leg off. I hope he was tasty. And what's missing? Definitely needs a face, doesn't he? He's going to have an eye here and an eye here. Going to have an angry face. He's going to be a bit sad. Why do you think he's sad? Sad because he's had his leg broken off. So there's my gingerbread man. And he is all ready for me to either play with, or here's the other challenge. So I have made lots of stones like these. We saw my hungry caterpillar and my Gruffalo. Now you'll know that these are my story stones because look what's on the back. World Book Day 21. So I have hidden some story stones around Portland. Now I would love for people to discover these for World Book Day. And I'd love to see you with these story stones or see you having created your own story. So your task is this. So your task today will be, you can either make some story stones and make your own mixed up fairy tale. I wonder what would happen in an adventure where the hungry caterpillar met with a wizard. Or you can go out around Portland and see if you can find some of these story stones. Remember, mine have got World Book Day 21 on the back. Now, one rule, if you find one of mine, I'd like you to swap it for one that you've done. And I really like the thought that our island would be full of lots of amazing story stones with beautiful pictures on. So that's your task today. I look forward to seeing you. If you find one of my stones around the island, and there's lots of them, make sure you send in a picture. And if you've done your own or have your own mix-up fairy tale, I'd love to see it too. So have good fun, and I can't wait to see what you've done. Bye-bye.